Welcome to Above the Garage.
Hi, friends. Welcome to our discussion of Pluribus, episode 6. Let's do our round of introductions and dive in.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
Hi, I'm Marigold.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
Hi, I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Kate. Kimberly, Dave was just listening, like catching up on the show or listening to the first couple episodes, and he really loved your deep, deep voice introduction in like episode 2 or something.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Oh, that was
Anyway,
so funny.
It cracked him up like
I should
a
just
lot.
change it every week. Like,
You should.
hello.
All right. Episode 6 opens up moments after we last saw Carol and her utter shock at whatever grisly substance she's discovered is going into the milk powder. She's still trembling, but has the presence of mind to get her video camera, and we get to go in Blair Witch style with her to see what it is that has her so horrified. And her presentation is excellent. First, she picks up the head, so it might look like something different. A butterball turkey, she suggests. But you can see where the neck was cut off, so I was pretty sure it was a head at this point. And then she turns it, and it is without a doubt a human head. She's abandoned any attempt at being calm at this point as she shows shelves upon shelves of human body parts, all vacuum sealed and refrigerating. We don't get to see the cooking vats or what's inside them, but I think we get the point. Cannibalism is afoot, my friends.
When they just had her like walking out of the warehouse, I was like, oh, fuck, you're not going to show us, are you?
Oh, I know, me too.
So I was glad when they went in like that.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a whole like episode thing where it gets revealed eventually. And I was like, no, I do not have time for this. Show me now. And they did, so thank you.
Although on the flip side of that, I was thinking it would be kind of great to watch her reacting to something you don't know what it is for the whole episode.
No, it would annoy me so much. But yes, it would be good.
It would have annoyed me, but it would be interesting acting from an acting perspective to have her doing that and us to be trying to guess based on the way she's acting.
Absolutely. Things that annoy me aren't always bad television. So.
Yeah. I'm glad they gave us a taste of it, though, because I thought it was interesting seeing her go out of the building and...
Yeah, without showing us.
And wondering, all of us wondering, and then the way they presented that information was cool. It was a better way than what I was expecting.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the way they let it unfold was really well done. And I mean, even if the only thing I can imagine that would elicit that kind of response from her is human body parts, I mean, it was a little predictable to me in that way, but at the same time I didn't really care because I thought, you know, seeing her reaction and then watching her get the camera, right? So she's like, I'm going to document this. And then watching it as Kate described, like Blair Witch style, going back into the warehouse, because I don't even remember if we saw as much of the warehouse last time as we did this time, but it gave us another point of view, another perspective, and how she was going to deliver that information to the others. So even if the reveal was the same thing I had been expecting it to be, it was still really well done and really landed really well.
I actually kind of think that the fact that we sort of guessed what it was going to be and most people would have known by now, like if you thought about it, that was sort of the assumption. I kind of think that adds to what happens later where nobody else is surprised by this. Because we're also kind of not surprised by it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
I even felt that way, like, whatever, we'll get to it. But going into that conversation, I knew he wasn't going to care.
Exactly. Yeah. I kind of like that they did that.
Yeah. Also because of like how worked up she was. There's like no other way for that scene to go, I think.
Exactly.
But it's still great. It's fantastic. In normal Carol fashion, she rushes to package up her SD card and call the cannibals to transport it for her, but this time she has a second thought about that. Finally! It surprises me how unconcerned she's been about them seeing her investigation so far, but this one is where she draws the line, and Vegas is only 8 hours away. It also seems fairly safe to assume, after knowing Kumba for only a couple hours, that he would hang out in Vegas for many more than a few days, so she starts packing. God, I wish I could pack like her. One duffel bag for the entire trip.
Yeah.
And so organized, even in the middle of a crisis. I would have just thrown stuff in the backseat of my car and gone.
That's the worst situation for me, is like the last minute. And I'm like, I might need this and this and this and this. And I would be throwing things like crazy, you know? And she took like...
And the end of the world. Like, who cares how you pack at this point?
I mean, to be fair, she can raid like any store she wants.
Right.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, but I think I get the feeling this is how she always packs. And it makes me sad for myself and happy for her.
But I guess she was used to doing her book tours and had a system down for like, this is my stuff and this is you know.
Yeah. Well, I travel a lot and I can't system down, as you call it. So it's still a failure in my person, I think.
I don't know.
I love that they had, I forget the guy's name in Paraguay, but they had him packing too at the end of the episode.
Yeah, it was
I
kind of
was
similar.
just thinking about that.
I love that they had kind of like a book ending the episode.
Yeah.
And also, I totally related with Carol when she vacuumed up like the human dust on her carpet because I would be so like grossed out and OCD over it. I was like, this is very realistic.
And she
so.
had the extra protection over her face and everything like covering
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think it was a plexiglass mask and awesome.
Yeah.
But I love the parallel with the Paraguay guy
Yeah.
because I think they pack similarly too.
Yes.
Very light, light and basic.
Mhm.
And his his road trip is going to be a lot longer than hers.
Yes.
So that's
I have a lot of
interesting to me,
comments about
too.
that when we get there, actually.
Yes.
My note on the vacuum scene though is I was a little bit horrified that she has like a black light on her vacuum. Is that what that was? Did you notice the light?
I didn't, but
Oh.
that's extra.
There was a light. I didn't know it was black light, but
It could have just been a blue headlight, but I don't know. It feels like a cleaning.
Oh.
I don't want to see the unseen, so I would just want to have nothing to do with that vacuum.
Yeah.
Part of me loves it, and
Wow.
part of me definitely would be like, if you do it 2 or 3 times, then you would start to feel like nothing can ever be clean if
Yeah,
you were seeing that
exactly.
level of detail every
Mhm.
time you cleaned your house.
Yeah.
exactly.
I feel like she was also doing that because they could have come into her house while she was gone and seen the evidence. That probably wasn't the first thing on her mind, but she did seem to be more concerned with that this episode, with what they were.
No, I had that. I also had that note. I said, is it because she's trying to clean up evidence, or is she
Oh.
that tidy of a person? But I think
Mhm.
with the way she like packs and all of the above, but I think she is that clean.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do too. But it is funny, like you said, Kate, she could get anything from any store, but also they're stockpiling everything to where you have to go to the hive mind to get anything from them. Because at first I was like, I don't know if I would even pack. I would probably just jump in my car, but then you'd have to rely on them for every single thing.
Yeah. I wonder if they did that with clothing too. I think they would down the line, but I think it was like the fresh produce
Yeah, that could be.
and the food,
Yeah.
also the food issue that caused them to be more. I don't know. There's a lot of stores in America, but there's a lot of hive bees, so maybe they've got everything in factories at this point.
I think for efficiency, they might, just because they don't want people driving around to different stores, right?
Right.
But yeah, I don't know.
Next up, we are transported into Kumba's fantasies, this one in the shape of a James Bond film. It seems we weren't the only ones with the idea of writing our own TV shows and movies for the Hive to act out after all. But Kumba has taken it a whole step further and is straight up living out all the scenes his shallow little mind can dream up from inside the Elvis Presley suite at Westgate Tower. We pick up the fantasy in the final hand of 007's typical poker scene, with the stereotypical eye-patched villain going all in, the whole harem of scantily clad women hanging over him in excitement and adoration. But the villain has a straight flush. Impossible. He's done for. Wait, no, it can't be. Kumba reveals a royal flush. Unbelievable. I mean, really, this guy's brain's impressive. The women are oohing and awing to his satisfaction, but unfortunately, the fourth wall is broken when the villain looks genuinely happy for him, and he has to admonish him to stay in character. I was looking forward to the part where he leaves and all the robots go back to being robots, and I was not disappointed. Eye patch removed, the villain of the movie gets down with the rest of his henchmen to clean up all the broken glass, with everyone looking like glazed over happy hive people again.
What a wonderfully executed scene. Like every
Yeah.
detail of that was perfect.
It was perfect.
Yeah, it was a great scene.
It even made me wonder if if everybody was just fulfilling his fantasy or if it was a flashback. Because I was wondering if this was like his world or his life pre with the party and everything. Because it was so elaborate.
He wishes.
Yeah.
I know, right? Exactly. He
He
wishes.
was probably a giant loser.
No, he can finally fulfill all of his dreams, all of his disgusting dreams.
Actually, that's something I hadn't thought about before, but I'd like to see, like, if we get to see more of the other characters as well, like their pre.
Yes.
That would be
yeah.
great.
Because I feel like he was probably just a regular dude.
Total opposite. Yeah, I agree. But the moment was perfectly executed where if there is a reveal, it is revealed that it's the villain guy gives it away by being happy for him. I thought that was so great.
Starts clapping.
And then when he calls him out and says, stay in character, and then he pretends to get angry, and that part made me laugh. It was so funny.
I do love to know now, though, that they can act angry and other emotions. They can do that if you tell them to.
Really well, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very convincing.
Do you know what's weird though? Is like if I was acting out that scene right, I'd totally get Mads Mikkelsen from Casino Royale. Like I'd get him as my villain.
That's a good point.
I'd totally get the actual actors. You know?
I do expect more cameos in like scenes like this, I think.
Right.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm loving that.
Like, it's a good one. Like, the guy in the tracksuit was very funny to me. And I was like, I wonder if he's somebody, which would make it funnier. But no offense, he is somebody and he was awesome.
I am looking forward to more cameos, though, because you know they're going to drop some more in.
Yeah.
Especially with what we get later, which we'll get to.
Right. Great cameo later.
Which was
It's
fucking hilarious.
So great.
Yeah, at the beginning of the scene, I knew it was staged. I didn't think about flashback, which it could have been, but I knew it was staged because they were having a party and talking to each other. But it did make me think, like, if these 13 people didn't exist, the robots would just simply work and sleep all the time, right?
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
I think so.
And they'd be quiet too because they don't need to talk with each other.
Right. And it's like hard to sell the happiest world marketing package when literally nobody does anything resembling fun or socialization or anything. It'd be so weird.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get like an episode of them just being.
Yeah, I'd like that.
I want to know what they're doing when the focus people aren't in the center. Like, take focus off Carol and see what they're doing when we're not looking at Carol.
Right. Well, we saw Zoja in the beginning when they're just cleaning up bodies and no one's talking and they're just working, right?
Mhm.
So I think they would literally
That's a
just
little
like
of it.
work nonstop for a really long time.
Mhm.
I do want to follow one of them back to their housing, though, and just see like a full 24 hours of their life.
Yeah.
Where do they live? Do they literally live in
Yeah.
some type of hive situation? I'm so curious.
Dorms or something.
And stare at the wall.
Right.
Because they don't need to live individually. They don't. It's just so fascinating to me. The other thing, a comment I wanted to make, and there's a couple times in this episode when we see this, is how the timing of everybody just instantly dropping the act and going back to their hive mind and going silent and just going back into their thing is so perfectly done, where it's just so, the timing is just so precise. I love it. It's been done so well.
Yeah, the background actors do an excellent job too. Everybody does. Back with Kumba, he is, of course, surrounded by naked women in his hot tub. Even Joette's going to join the party when suddenly everyone freezes and Joette reverses course. They all have to leave immediately because Carol is coming. He's invited to join them in abandoning Carol. But in one of his few moments of being a decent human being, he tells them to go on. He should talk to her.
Yeah, he shows a few of those this episode. I
Yeah.
was curious, about that.
I think the actor, Samba Shoot, does an absolutely incredible job of playing him so
Yeah.
well and making him at times sympathetic, even though
Mhm.
he's a complete dirtbag, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Mhm.
Multi-layered.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was sweet. He didn't have to go. I mean, stay. He didn't have to stay.
Yeah. Also, when all of the women get out of the hot tub, I've noticed this before in movies or shows or whatever, conveniently placed bubble bath bubbles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it was
Totally.
perfectly over everyone's boobs. And I was like, I'm pretty sure they must have to be wearing something that has bubbles attached to it to make that work.
Something
Sure.
has, yeah.
Right.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
So was the maid stopped getting undressed? Was that because they had to leave?
Yeah.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
all heard in their head.
They all realized Carol's on the way.
Carol's driving around in empty Vegas looking for signs of where he may be when the hive helps her out, with a giant electronic sign on the west gate welcoming her, and more signage inside the casino directing her where to go from there. So helpful. She arrives at the excessively ornate suite to find Kumba waiting for her, and he confirms the whole hive just cleared out since she was coming. She gets all worked up in her Carol way to show him what she's found, and it's in her work uppedness that I immediately knew that they'd beaten her to the punch and already told him. As such, he cuts her off. Is this about them eating people? And he brings John Cena out to soften the blow, which worked very well on Kumba. Anyway, Cena, in front of his blue screen, very kindly explains they have to eat the humans because they can't hurt living beings, including even plants. I wondered about that after episode 2, but I don't think we discussed it. Where would they draw the line? And now we know.
Yeah.
There's actually a diet like that, like a real crazy diet. I did this thing for a year where I did a different diet every week for a year just to like be crazy.
Oh my
wow.
Yeah. Just to like check them all out. And there was one, I didn't do this one because it was too crazy, but I was researching and I found one where they only eat things that have fallen off of trees or
Fucking hell.
that have naturally given their life for you.
That's crazy.
You'd literally starve.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
intense.
crazy.
That is wild. That is wild.
Mm.
I loved when Carol first walks into the room, though, and she says, "Do you have a TV in this barn?"
Yeah.
Good line.
So many good lines.
Does anyone know if that's what the Westgate Hotel like penthouse suite looks like?
I feel like it must be.
I do think it's the Elvis Presley suite. Yeah.
Yeah, because I just wrote a note about the set design, but obviously if it's like that anyway, but it was amazing. Like, imagine having a freaking chair in the elevator and like a work of art. Like, I was just like, what the fuck?
The chair in the elevator, I saw her in the chair. I literally didn't know if the elevator doors were opening to let her in or out because it looked like she could have been
in a
just
room.
sitting waiting.
Yeah.
But she was in the elevator. That was so cool.
Rich people stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When John Cena first comes on and he says, "We're John Cena."
Yeah.
Word.
I'll never get used to that.
It's like that just never stops making me laugh every time. Also, he is a treasure. I absolutely love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
He was the perfect person to use.
I wonder though, like if Kumba was saying like how he was asking like John Cena how to do some wrestling moves and stuff, and I was like, totally, couldn't he just ask them to like bring John Cena to the hotel and like do it on him? You know what I mean?
Probably has private lessons.
Yeah, true. Maybe he has. Yeah.
If the Hive would stop calling themselves we when they're talking to an individual, it would probably go a long way in helping their goals. But yeah, John Cena was adorable. And it was very convincing when he was like, "We cherish the memory of those people and appreciate their sacrifice." And he said it so meaningfully.
When he said, "Given our druthers, would we choose to consider HDP?" No.
Druthers is underused word. I like it.
So underused.
Wait, what does druthers mean?
I don't know. It just means
Choice?
given our options.
I think so, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And he ends his message, as always, by apologizing for not telling her this in person, but they need their space from her. I get so tired of listening to that message, like this episode. Just change it. She knows.
I was waiting for him to do the like, you can't see me at the end with his hand.
What is that from? Just wrestling?
In wrestling, he like
Yeah.
puts his hand up across his face and he's like,
Oh, he should have. I don't watch enough wrestling, obviously.
I thought that would have been pretty funny.
Mostly recently, I know him from Peacemaker, which I don't know if you guys watched that show.
I've heard someone recommend it. My brother.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, loves it.
I would definitely check it out.
I think Eva's husband directed some of those episodes, if I remember correctly.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so.
That's cool. Anyway, Kumba's all right with it all. In fact, he's much more worried about the Hive dying in 10 years since they don't have endless supplies of dead humans either. After all, who would Kumba fuck if they all die?
Also, the fact that John Cena, so we had to say that, the fact that John Cena calls cannibalism anthropophagy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which I had to look up. I was like, they're trying to soften it. They're trying to make it sound like some scientific professional term instead of what it really is.
I didn't realize it was a different term. I thought he said anthropology, and I was like, that's a weird way to refer to cannibalism.
Oh.
I didn't know that was a totally separate term.
Mm-hmm.
I had to Google it.
I'm so fascinated by this idea, though. I have to ask you guys the idea that all living things, even plants, because a lot of fruit, its whole purpose is to be food, isn't it? I mean, you're not disobeying the laws of nature if you eat fruit.
I think the fruit would not agree with you, probably.
I think there's an idea that it's hurting the plant in some way to take what is given from the plant.
Okay.
I've heard that
the plant didn't offer it because it hasn't fallen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard that some vegans are like that, although I don't know if it's actually called vegan if they do that. Maybe it's another word, but yeah, I have read about that before.
I'm confused why the Hive wouldn't be able to at least plant the food, though, because they had talked about robotic farming. So I know that they couldn't probably... I guess they couldn't.
It's the
harvest, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's a good point that they could plant more plants and wait for those to drop the fruit.
Yeah.
Or the food.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty crazy how they're making a case for eating human beings rather than
Yeah, that's true.
taking fruit off of
okay.
a plant.
Yeah.
Just accepting, a plant sacrifice.
Hopefully, presumably, her answer is through this argument of how stupid the species is for being willing to die in 10 years instead of like make better choices.
Like she said, they're doing it to themselves.
Yeah.
If they starve, it's because of those choices.
That's true.
Right. So talk to the individuals and be like, look, actually, you're killing humanity. You had a problem with my arguments for it, fine, but they're actually going to die in 10 years because you're not helping me reverse this so that we can eat plants.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Plus, you need to plant stuff too, obviously, for the
That's
Yeah.
true.
For the world to thrive. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I was just shocked that the other like 12 or whatever didn't. I don't know. I'm surprised that they're so okay with it.
The other 11,
The other 11, yeah.
Mhm.
they still have a lot of hope in the one guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. To me, that would be like,
Oh, yeah, it's insane.
this is insane. Like, this is the catalyst to make me want to like really find a solution. But
Right.
yeah.
They still just do such a good job. The hive mind does such a good job of presenting things kindly and rationally because they're
Yeah.
using, like she says later about all the lawyers survived because of the way they're wording things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're so good at speeches, and
Yeah.
presenting information. So I think I don't know, if you're already torn on this or you're already predisposed to think, well, like the woman with the kid, you're not that hard to
Mhm.
convince at that point.
And other people
Yeah.
are probably just like, this is impossible to deal with anyway, so might as well go along with it. Like, you can't beat billions of...
Yeah. But also Carol, I feel, could learn something from that because if she presented her arguments more
Yes.
like they are
Yes.
in a more
Yes.
rational, planned out way,
True.
then they might listen to her.
This is another reason I am Carol. I can't do it. I know this intellectually, but I get too worked up.
That's not even true, Kate. You've done so many good speeches on this podcast over the years.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't seen
Yes.
all the speeches in my personal life, Aubrey.
But you have the capacity to format and present cohesive,
Yeah.
I do.
very well worded speeches.
Very much so.
Yeah. I think that you would be a bit softer than Carol. She's
Yes.
not
I hope so.
she's not a good communicator.
Kate's taught me a lot of words over the years. So
You taught me a lot of good curse words, Australian words.
oh yeah.
In
I'm
fact,
good at that.
I go around America now saying things that you really can't say in America. Really judged harshly. Like the C word, you can't say that.
Oh, really?
You mean cunt? or-
Is cunt more acceptable in Australia?
Yes.
And like the UK.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're moving that way though.
Sometimes it can be used in a friendly way, but
Yeah.
obviously it can be
Right.
in the other way as well. It just depends how you say it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I've got Scottish friends that affectionately call each other cunt all the time.
Right.
I'm like, that's kind of adorable. I kind of love it.
Well, I can't say I do that, to be fair, but
If you ever say it to me, I'm going to choose to take it that way.
I was going to say, she's
Yeah.
clarifying right now, Aubrey. She was not doing it in a nice way.
when I usually use it, it's not a nice yeah.
Anyway, we've gotten way off track.
Way.
Sorry.
No, it was my fault. Okay. It kind of looks like Kuma breaks Carol's heart when he reveals that the other 11 people like them Zoom all the time to keep in touch, but they decided to specifically disinclude Carol.
But did it not confuse you guys that he said they meet on Tuesdays and Fridays as if it's been weeks and it's only been like 10 days?
Right. Yeah.
So they could have only
Yeah.
had maybe one or two sessions. Anyway,
Yes.
it was funny either way, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Is there any possibility they were already doing that prior to? No, they were meeting for the first time, weren't they? When we all first meet.
Yeah.
The group.
I think
Probably.
so. But maybe they just established that as the future pattern and he's just saying, but anyway, I just thought it was
Yeah.
funny. But we meet on Tuesdays and Fridays. I'm like, it's been like 10 days.
That's funny. I didn't actually process that.
I
but
didn't put that together, that it was such a short, yeah.
Oh, and the non-English speakers were mad at Carol for not inviting them to meet up in Spain,
Mhm.
which I fully support. It annoyed me too.
Mhm.
Stupid misstep, Carol. Big one.
I understood the first round of that because she was really wary of the translation, but like the
Yeah.
next day, I feel like I would have reached out to
Yeah,
everyone else.
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot we haven't seen people yet, have we?
No, we haven't seen
No.
them. She did get them described to her, and they were not inspiring to her in their ages and occupations.
She did
Mhm.
include them on her videos, didn't she? Because she wanted them
Yeah.
to be translated.
Yeah.
But I guess that's too little too late.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
a fun meetup. The first meetup of the survivors in the world. Not cool.
They missed Air Force One.
I'm sure they'll see it
I'm sure Lakshmi was just like, let's keep Carol away.
for sure.
Yeah, if we had to guess who was voting which ways.
But I mean, I kind of understand because Carol, with her getting angry at the hive mind, I could see that happening in like a group,
Sure.
thing.
Yeah.
So I understand why she wasn't invited.
They remember what happened last time. They saw that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's been very focused in a very specific, like, she's not interested in just getting on a Zoom and chit-chatting and getting to know the others the way they probably are.
Yeah.
They're probably just having a fun Zoom chat.
Probably.
She wants to reverse everything. She wants to get all of them on board. She has a mission, and she's been very aggressive about it. Even with the videos, she's continuing that as her personal mission. They know that she's unrelenting on that. At the same time, though, it broke my heart, especially when she asked him the question that, the nagging question of, have you guys ever considered inviting me to the Zooms? And we all already know the answer to that.
Yeah.
And it just broke my heart. And I loved seeing her express that, like, as most of us, I would have done, like, excuse yourself, go to the bathroom so you can break down crying, because it's so, she has this hard exterior. She can have that aggressive personality, but she's human, and she's now literally been abandoned by everybody in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The hive mind abandoned her, and then the last other 12 people who think the way she does, or not think the way she does, but who are also independent thinkers, have also excluded her as well. That has got to be, that is the extreme loneliness that anybody could ever have. It broke my heart seeing that unfold.
It was another moment of kindness from Kumba when he said that on the phone, when he was talking to the hive, and he was like, she's lonely.
Yes.
Yeah, that was sweet.
She's just so lonely.
But then the next thing he said was like, I'll see you guys tomorrow or something. It wasn't quite that, but
yeah. They told him they missed him or something, and he said, I miss you. And it's like, wow, okay.
I couldn't work out who he was talking to because he called them my loves, and I got a bit confused.
I think it was the harem.
It may have been all of them, or like a group call or something.
He's using the we for them now, too. He's
right.
Yeah.
The next morning, Kumba makes Carol a nice-looking breakfast, for which she's appreciative, and eats without much hesitation. I would be worried he was poisoning me with hive drugs or something, if it were me. But not her. She shoves all the ingredients on a piece of toast, and it's kind of cute that he follows her lead to try it out, and he's like trying to smash the avocado onto the toast.
I love these little glimpses of conformity in the show, though, because they keep showing people following each other and doing the same things. And it's like,
that's interesting. Yeah.
I thought the same thing, because he was watching the way she did this, and he's like, okay. And then you see him copying her, this even just the same way, the method she was using with the avocado, and then the way she was stacking the egg. He's like, okay, let me put some egg on. And then because he's not a hive mind, he's not somebody who's following along. He's an independent thinker, but I love how he's copying her movements. It was very cute. And
but did you guys think for a second that maybe he'd been turned because of that? For like 1 second? I kind of did.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't.
I didn't, because of the prior things we'd seen.
Yeah. I think he was just kind of missing just interaction with like an actual person, maybe. Like, eating with somebody, and he was like, oh, what's she doing? Like, she's making this little sandwich.
Making an individual choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just commentary that, even individual thinking humans can, we do the same thing. We mimic, we kind of copy other people's behaviors and patterns.
It would be an interesting reveal if all along he was literally just an actor. And he was,
right. Which could be, because now they can act. So kind of don't trust anything.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That's true.
Although she doesn't know that. We know that.
We skipped over this, but it was so sweet the way that he put her to, like, when he finds her sleeping and he puts the blanket on her, and she's still holding the champagne glass, and it was just a very sweet moment, because for whatever we think about him and the gross ways that he's utilizing the world as it is now, I just thought that was really sweet.
Yeah, the fact that he stayed back to see her was like surprising to me in his character. Still like complete douchebag, but like very kind of him. It made an impression.
I also really enjoyed the shot of him, if we're going back, when he was looking out the window and you can see his reflection in the window, and the Westgate lights were there, and the music was also very lovely.
King of the City.
I clocked that shot too. I kind of knew you were going to say that when you started, because I was like, that is such a good still that we're probably going to grab for Instagram.
Yeah,
that you're going to grab beautifully for Instagram.
Definitely.
Also, the shot of, speaking of the champagne glass, when she wakes up on the sofa or the lounge chair or whatever, and you can see, like, it's shot through the champagne glass, part of the shot. Did you guys notice that? It was like from kind of behind her through the glass.
I don't think I did notice that. I'll have to go back.
It was cool because there was a little section of this shot that was kind of blurry through the glass of him in the background.
Very cool.
For conversation, Carol plays off hanging out with Kumba further as a joke when she sees that he's not interested in doing that at all. But he was too polite to say it.
That made me so sad for her.
Yeah, she picked up on his cues at least, but it made me really sad too. She fully expected him to be camping out there with her for a while.
It made me sad, but it sort of surprised me that he didn't give her at least that. Didn't she just say, I'll get my own suite, I'll give you some space, we'll meet up later and we can talk or something like that? And that was even too much for him, like too much exposure.
He just does not want to talk about this topic with her. Like she's so much trying to reverse.
Okay, so he's already done with it.
I think he is trying to be kind to her, but also like he has this happy life. He took a moment away from it, and she's her Carol self that's like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's just like, okay.
The same reason she's not invited to the Zoom calls. She's a one-track mind. That's all she wants to talk about. Yeah, it's true.
I did like that he didn't, I mean, obviously you could tell in his face that he didn't want her to do what she said.
But he didn't say it.
He didn't say it. He just took a sip of his drink and was kind of like, couldn't quite act enough to pretend like that was cool with him. But
when I went to Wicked with Kaya last week, halfway through the movie, she's like, do you know you take a sip of your drink every time a man does something bad?
Okay, that's amazing.
I was like, no.
Wow.
But I had just done it, and like I was annoyed with someone. And I was like, oh.
Trying to hide your reaction? I love it.
It's really funny.
But also, she does glare at them.
I know.
Very observant. I like that.
So Carol's heading out. They trade some barbs about Vegas and Albuquerque, and he asks her to check in every once in a while as she's leaving. Luckily, they get into one last verbal spar, during which he reveals the latest and hugest revelation the Hive has just discovered. They cannot turn the 13 without their permission. They have to collect stem cells and tailor the virus to the individual, steps which they cannot take without their consent. This visit was not for naught after all. Carol is elated to have a phone conversation with a giant Vegas sign. By the way, have you guys ever seen the movie LA Story from like the early 90s?
Yes, I love that movie.
So it's Steve Martin talking to a billboard.
No.
I didn't think of that. I didn't put that together, but I love that comparison.
I love that movie as a kid, so
That's a
why
great
it
movie.
stuck with me. Anyway, back to the show at hand. Carol is elated to inform the Hive she does not give her permission. Something, by the way, that Kumba has also done already. But what about the other 11? She should have inquired about their decisions before taking off. I'm desperate to know who's giving them permission.
Also, when she ran across the room to pick up the phone and call them, did you guys immediately think she was thinking about the eggs that she'd frozen and the stem cells that were in them and they could harvest them?
Wow, no, I did not think.
No, but I wanted to bring that up though, because on the sign, it specifically said no stem cells will be collected from your body.
Exactly. Lawyer speak.
So,
yep.
Wow.
Oh my God, you guys.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
I was like, why the hell is she not specifying none at all from anything?
You probably didn't think about, yeah.
Right. We're thinking about it.
That's definitely why they dropped that earlier in the season. And
100%.
Oh my God.
It's scary.
They're going to go, I mean, she needs to think about this right away and go get those eggs and like
Yeah.
do something about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrifying.
I just love the way she was like, when you're on a phone call and you're just waiting and she like puts her leg up on the thing and she's like so frustrated.
Yeah.
It was so good in that scene. Like it just like I could feel it. Like everyone's felt that before, when you're on the phone fucking waiting for
Yes.
Well, and I think it's funny that they haven't, that there's ways that they could have her skip the message if they really wanted to. Like press 1 if you want to skip or
Oh my God. I would ask them to shorten that message.
John literally said, why doesn't she just ask them to change the voicemail to a beep? Like, just take it off. I get it.
something. And I feel like there is a bit of torture and like there's a bit of like, they can't be aggressive or malicious and they can't hurt people, but this just seems like a bit of fuckery with her.
Oh yeah.
Also, the fact that I think they've left it in as a device just to be funny because
Oh, for sure.
it's tedious to the viewer, but it's also just funny just watching her wait through that same message before it gets to the beep.
Yeah.
It's funny every time.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just back to the thing about the frozen eggs. They were eating eggs in the previous scene, which I know doesn't mean anything, but I kind of wondered if it was a little bit of a subconscious reminder of that conversation for the audience.
Right. That was really good.
Good job, guys. That's a really good observation.
Yeah. But it's sad for her.
It is. I hope she thinks of that on her drive back to Albuquerque. Like,
Right.
yeah.
And I was wondering, I don't know what the process is when you have your eggs frozen, but like I'm sure there's tons of paperwork that you sign, and I'm sure somewhere in that paperwork she probably consented to something that they could like
Right.
twist into some sort of consent for them to.
Yeah. I have done that, and there is a whole lot of
Yeah.
questions and a whole lot of. It's also like, what are you gonna, if something happens to you, what do you want to happen to these eggs? There's like a million scenarios, and it's very stressful.
Yeah.
And I think you cannot answer them, but in that case, they're just free to do whatever. I don't know. Anyway, it's a very good point.
And the hive isn't going to think of it the same way because it's not painful to her physically, but she should have said on that message, it's going to be emotionally painful. You're not allowed to take it.
Right.
But she hasn't thought of it yet, so hopefully soon.
But then also, if they're like calling plants living beings, they shouldn't be able to fuck with embryo.
I don't know.
Good point.
Obviously, this is a gray area for everyone in the world.
But is it an embryo or just an egg?
Oh, her eggs. I don't.
They
I think it's
just
just
had
her
eggs, I
eggs.
think.
I had embryos. They had eggs. I think. Yeah, they froze.
So they
don't
might
know.
think of it the same way they think of
eggs,
plants, or the milk from the cows that they said they were still doing, that surprised me.
Yeah, they can milk
Right,
them.
the milk from the cows.
Damn, you're right. They're just eggs. Shit.
Yeah, she's in trouble.
Yeah.
Can the eggs themselves be used as the stem cells they need to change her?
Yes, I'm
I
sure.
think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, she's fucked then. She has to remember that and do something about it. Otherwise, they got her.
It's interesting that they say like the hive can't lie, but obviously it can manipulate because I went online and they were talking about the scene in, I think, episode 2 when they were eating. And technically they said that their preference would be to be vegetarian, not that they are vegetarian.
Yep, Kuba said that. Yeah, exactly.
That's what he said.
So it's kind of, they're very misleading and
lawyer speak.
That's where the lawyer speak came out.
Yeah, lawyer speak, manipulative. So I'm like, oh, you can't trust them. You have to say exactly what you mean.
Right.
And honestly, especially after she's realized that they do lawyer speak, I would start really being careful about my phrasing and also telling them, because I feel like maybe even if you just said, I mean, to some extent, you can maybe be like, that's lying. You could manipulate them back, knowing that they're going to talk to you like that.
Yeah. I remember thinking something about how she said that you can't use, like there was a loophole in there perhaps, but then they responded with, we won't take them, so your stem cells from your body. So I was like, all right, I was wrong. There wasn't a loophole or whatever. But I feel like what I'm trying to say is that she's not being that careful with her language, and she should be.
Yes.
Still, though, without remembering that the eggs exist in this scenario, it'd be very hard to cover that.
For sure.
Probably. All right, moving on. Outside, Kumba admires her police car, and she, in turn, verbally rolls her eyes at his. A fancy sports car for every day of the week.
Which immediately made me think of like the underwear with the days on it.
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was only a little surprised that it seemed to be the same type of sports car for every day of the week instead of maybe changing it up to different fancy cars, different sports cars. It was like different colors.
He knows what he likes.
Yeah, maybe he's going to do that next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next week, he's got it all planned.
I shouldn't judge his particular eccentricities because he's just going to do his own thing.
And that's, you know, like Kimberly said, that's just for this week. Who knows what he's going to do next week?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
He can have whatever he wants.
Excellent point, Kimberly. Kuma makes one final attempt to change Carol's heart in regards to the hive, and she thinks it over for a moment. Fuck him. Watch your toes, and peels out. I like that.
Watch your toes was a very nice touch.
And then the time card rolls back 3 whole days, which made me excited. I was about to see our Paraguay friend again, and it did not disappoint. He's just finished scanning his radio channels, and it turns out he has had some luck. 8.613.0.
The thing we kind of discussed and didn't quite land on about him skipping numbers, it's because when you tune a radio station, you can sort of pick up some part of it within a 3 or 4 channel range. Like you hear it staticky. So like if you go to a specific channel and you go 1 point above or 1 point below, you'll still hear it. So I think that's why he's skipping the 3.
I like that answer, but in this scene, he doesn't, in that case, he would want to go down below 8613.0, right? And he doesn't.
To check it?
Yeah. Because you're saying it could be 8612.7, right?
True. That's a good point. But I do think that's why he's skipping, because he's skipping 3 every time. Like I looked at the ones he was doing at the end
Right.
on the paper, And he's skipping 3 every time. So I'm assuming that's why he's skipping 3, but you're completely correct that he should have moved around.
But he finds something on 8613, so maybe that's...
Yes.
And maybe he did anyway, and it just didn't show the whole thing. Okay, sorry to be nitpicky.
No, you're right, though. He should have checked the 3 surrounding channels when he realized there was something.
Anyway, what did you get? What was that? That was like some sort of repeating music noise situation on that channel?
Yeah.
I kept thinking of like a binary code or a Morse code or something, but...
Oh, that would be good.
Well, yeah, because it all started with a code, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe it's the cure, the code to reversing it.
Well, he'll have that with him.
Yes.
I had a question for you guys quick. When he was flipping through the radio stations, I was like, why isn't he talking? Like, was he looking for survivors? But then I was like, oh, he's afraid that they would answer.
Yeah, he's afraid the hive mind will answer. I mean,
Yeah.
there could be people out there, but what he's looking for is others trying to, like him, who are trying to send out signals, and if they're talking.
Yeah.
But he hangs up on Carol.
Yeah. But somebody has to talk, you know?
He hung up on Carol at first because he thought she was one of them.
Yeah.
Because at first she was being polite. At
Yeah.
first she was nice.
I'm just saying, it's funny. This man has spent 9 days going through the radio looking for someone to talk to, and someone calls him, and he's like, fuck you. I get why he did it. I'm just saying it's funny.
It's
Yeah.
funny, for sure.
He and Carol will get along very well.
I sure hope they meet in the next episode. I think they will. I'm very excited.
I want them to
Cannot
meet
wait.
right off the bat. I'm tired of watching episodes without
Yeah.
them together. I mean, no, I love the show, and I'm enjoying it, but I've been very eager for them to meet, and I want them to meet early in the next episode.
They're going to be soulmates.
Although I really do want to see his journey, because as somebody with extreme geographic OCD, I really want to see how he gets from Paraguay to Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Because I did a bunch of maps of this.
Oh, me too. They said it wasn't possible.
It's not.
Is it
I didn't
not?
think so.
It's not possible because of something called the Darien Gap, which is in Colombia.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like a swampy area. You have to go on either a ferry or a plane.
So you can't drive.
You can't drive straight there. So I'm wondering how he's going to
Oh.
get across that.
No,
And I hope they show it. Even though it's tedious and ridiculous. I hope they
No,
show it.
I want to know too. I mean, there's no way he's gonna make it. It would take forever.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I did was Google how far away, because I don't know how far away Paraguay from Albuquerque is, and it's like there's something like 10-hour flight journey. Like,
I think it was 15 or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Well, and this is how desperate he is not to elicit help from the hive mind.
Right.
Because you know they would fly him there in a
For
you know,
sure.
in an
Yeah.
instant
Yeah.
for sure. All he has to do is ask.
I don't know that he knows or trusts that yet, though.
Right. And wouldn't try.
Perhaps not.
Because he really hasn't talked to them at all.
But they've been trying to feed him.
He was surprised when he was watching Carol's video that there was 12 others.
Right.
So I'm like, has he talked to them at all? He must
No, I don't think so.
know like a teeny bit.
And he may be
but-
knocking the food over because he thinks it's poison. Like, he
Exactly.
has
Yeah,
no
maybe.
idea anything about them right now. And he did,
That's
like,
true.
Yeah.
he seemed to be able to interpret at least some of her video. I hope he understood the part that's like, they can't lie.
Yeah, I think it was translated.
Yeah, there should have been subtitles.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
She asked for that.
Which is incredible because they put it on a VHS tape, which I
Yeah.
freaking love because it's like they knew that was the technology that he had access to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
I had the
yeah, I
same
didn't
thought.
think about that. That's cool.
Because she said it on like USB drives or something, I think. Or
Mhm.
so then when they did the subtitles, they were like, he's going to need a VHS. Great.
Yeah, but he was so moved by her message, it almost made me tear up. He looked, I don't know,
Yeah.
different. This guy's an excellent actor.
He is very good.
Yeah.
Largely nonverbal.
So good with the wordless stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because this is like the first time we heard him speak at the end of the episode, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He didn't have any lines before at all.
Fuck, that was gold too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of the episode when we get there. I just loved it so much. It was so great.
Do we know his name?
I don't remember hearing the character name.
Yeah, they have him listed as Manusas on IMDb, the character name.
Okay.
And the actor is Carlos Manuel Vesca.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I want to go
Love
watch
him.
anything he's ever done.
Big fan.
Anyway, he puts Carol's address in his little notebook, turns the lights off in the storage facility, and finally breaches the outside world. For the first time since we've met him, anyway. He's on a new mission. And they show him leaving while Carol's first message is still playing, and it's really a great message. Especially I know this upset at least one of you part. That was funny.
Mhm.
But the rest of it is very motivational and set to some excellent Let's Save the World music. It was great scene.
It was a nice overlay over his actions as he gets going.
His whole walk down that street was really well directed and shot, and the lights coming on.
The lights coming on,
his shock about it. Like him looking up, like, what is going on? And then it was really well done.
He hesitantly enters his own apartment, crowbar at the ready, and when he's satisfied nobody's in his house, he relishes some 9-day-old leftovers.
I was just thinking that.
Imagine how good that must taste, though, after dog food. He was eating dog food a minute ago, so...
I hope that's not chicken, bro, or he's going to have to make a few stops along the way.
I know, right before the road trip.
The subtitles literally said moaning about his reaction to it. I was like, yeah, same. Also, speaking of dog food, though, I kept thinking in the last episode how we were discussing the dog food bags that they were using for the HDP, or I think that's what they call it. And he was eating dog food.
Right. Another parallel.
In the same episode, Yeah.
That's funny. He starts packing. Conveniently, he has all the South American maps at the ready. And what was that book?
It was like a translation book. Like to learn, I think it was to learn English.
Okay. I looked it up and it said like dream fluently. And I expected it to be a translation book. And I was like, something's off here. Okay, cool. Thank you.
He's so prepared. I love it.
I know. And he gets his savings out of the chandelier. And
I was like, you don't need any money, dude.
I know, but he doesn't know that yet.
He doesn't know that.
True.
Yeah.
He's definitely in denial. But I love that he's going on this adventure now after like holing up for 9 days. And he's like, all right, time to go do something. Yeah. And he uncovers his vintage MG and off he goes into the night. Or like 20 feet anyway. The car stalls out and he finds his creepy former mother standing in the shadows speaking to him. Luckily, his mom is a bitch, so he doesn't fall for the nice high bags.
He knows it's not her.
Just the best closing line of an episode.
Oh, so good.
So good.
Definitely my favorite part of the episode. And it's funny because I never thought about like all the disgusting people in the world, like gross people in the world, and now like just normal happy humans. Like, you know what I mean? Like it made me think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to think about.
Well, and you can imagine how it's already disturbing to him enough as it is, everything that's happened in the world. But if you know your mother to be one way, to be a bitch, and then you see this just sweet, smiling woman there in the form of your mother, that has got to be the most disturbing thing on the planet.
Yeah.
Just like, you are not my mother.
It's just amazing that that's one of the things that really nails it in for him. Is he's just like, no, you're not acting normal.
No.
Fuck you.
Exactly. No, you're not mean enough. You're not my mother.
Also, his car was way cooler than the Lamborghinis that came out.
Oh, absolutely.
I liked his
Yeah.
car. He had a really nice car.
I agree.
I just can't imagine that car making it to New Mexico, but
No, it won't. But that's what I was just going to say is I hope that he realizes like this can get him going, but he can stop and switch cars as he goes because there's going to be abandoned cars all over the place, which he doesn't realize yet, maybe.
It makes me think too, what have they done with all the fuel and stuff?
Yeah, right. He brings his own fuel because he's thinking about
He
that.
brought his own thing. Yeah.
Amazingly well prepared.
I love him.
He at least has a canister for it. So I think he'll do okay, but except for when he gets where the road ends or wherever.
The gap in the road ahead.
There's a dead end for him. That'll be interesting.
I need to see him operating a ferry or a plane at some point.
He's got to He's got to trade it out for a plane at some point, but I wish we could watch his whole road trip. I love his character. And it's lucky he lives on a hill so he can pop the clutch so easily.
That's right.
No, but I'm so excited with this ending, as I said. I can't wait to see the next episode. I love this character. I want to see them together. Yeah.
One great thing I think they're doing with the show is every episode ends in an exciting, ooh, what's going to happen next kind of way.
Yeah.
Always looking forward to the next thing.
Yeah.
Good cliffhangers. Mm-hmm.
Anyone have any other notes?
I have a funny one because I had this week, all of my groups at work, and I belong to a few, are doing their holiday celebrations with lunches and stuff. So I had a lunch with some of my coworkers, and one of my coworkers and I started talking about Pluribus. And the first thing he said is, "So do you think she's gonna hook up with that girl?" And I know he's talking about Zosha. And I was like, you know what? I thought that like the second episode in. It was just really funny hearing somebody outside the podcast talking about the show with me.
That reminded me, actually, I was like searching the hot tub and the poker game I was really hoping Zosha wasn't there, but I
Right.
thought she might be,
Oh.
since
Mhm.
she's not with Carol any longer.
Oh yeah, because I forget that he wanted to bone her, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he wants to bone anyone, but
Everyone and anyone.
specifically
Yeah.
her at one point. I wonder how long he can have sex with people that have no choice and still get like a thrill out of it. I mean, I think it's a very long
Ugh.
time. I'm just curious how many years.
So gross.
I was thinking about it too, because I was like, this is rape, but then I
It
was like,
is.
well, but at the same time, they want
Is
to,
it? Yeah.
the hive wants to please him, but it's
Do they have a choice to say no?
It's a fine line, yeah, I don't know.
This is how he's excusing it for himself, probably, right?
Hey,
oh,
for
I'm sure,
sure.
because he's like, oh, they wanna make me happy, so
Do you want to? Yes. Okay, consent.
Right.
yeah, but it's gross.
It's like, honey, think about consent for a minute.
It's still taking advantage of it.
Yeah, it's very messed up. But that's what's very interesting about the show. Lots of strange questions that you don't normally have to think about.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's a wrap on our discussion of episode 6. Come back next week for episode 7. Thanks for listening.
Bye.